We got another artist here.
Yep.
It's not his first time being on the show.
Nope.
I remember having this man come on the stage and bless the stage when we were in, what's that place called? Austin.
That place.
That part.
I always get the cities
South
mixed
by
up.
Southwest?
South by Southwest. And he's one of those hyenas that stepped on his stage. Mm-hmm. He made an impact on us, which is why we invited him back. See, we hang in there with you. If we like you, be patient with us. We're going to follow you throughout your career and help assist you get to the places you want to go. We don't care who doesn't recognize you. We only care about the ones that do recognize you. So welcome him back to the show, the one and only, the Philharmonic.
Y'all. Sorry.
That was intense of it.
How you been, man?
Man, I've been great, man. Just working on music.
Working on music. Explain your name.
The Philharmonic. So I know it kind of seems a little pretentious, but I wanted to have my name describe me, who I am as an artist. I've always been doing music my whole life, piano to violin to guitar. And I was a producer before I was a artist. And so I was like, what really describes me in my totality? And I was like, wait, I'm basically like a one-man orchestra in a way. So I wanted to call myself the Philharmonic.
Oh, shit.
That's
Okay,
dope.
hey, man.
Not bad.
Put some thought into that, man. You're from?
Sacramento, California.
Sacramento, California. You got a really soulful sound, right? You play so many different instruments, but what made you go in that direction?
It's the music I grew up with, honestly. I can't really escape Stevie, and I can't escape Michael McDonald, and I can't escape Prince. It just runs in my mind all the time.
Okay. And then that scene in Sacramento, like Mozzie is doing, round of applause for Mozzie.
Mozzie.
Brother
Hey.
Lynch Hung, all these different people that come from that area. How would you describe growing up in Sacramento what the music scene was like? Because Seattle has such a robust industry when it comes to music. What's Sac like?
Well, Sac right now is literally going through its renaissance. Like, we have a lot of artists coming out of Sacramento that are huge. You got Mozzie. You also got Hobo Johnson, if you've heard of Hobo Johnson. And you got Dre T. He's a part of the label that I'm on. He's really dope.
Okay.
And I've only been on the scene for about a couple years. I was doing stuff in the Bay Area, like in churches and whatnot, just producing and Christian music. And I decided to go the secular route and do my own thing. So I don't really know much about the scene, but I just know that there are a lot of talented people that I'm blessed to be around.
The Philharmonic.
How did the folks that you collaborated with doing Christian music, how did they respond to you switching it up?
I kind of did it on the low. I was like, because I know that like sometimes like when you leave from that evangelical community to that, when I was in it, we've always looked at them from a judgmental perspective. And so like I was like, oh man, he fell away from God, and he's not doing the right thing. They're not doing the right thing. And, it's just very judgmental. And it's like you basically have to start a whole new life over. And so it's kind of weird.
You got family? Like, how big is your family? How'd you grow up?
I grew up actually, I was born in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
That's where I was from. I grew up in Rosemont when my mom moved over to Sacramento. And, yeah.
Siblings or?
I got one sister. Yeah.
One sister?
One sister.
And then, so when I think of Cleveland, you grew up you were born in Cleveland, Ohio, and you moved to Sacramento. And then, you see how the ties we have, Heather?
I know exactly where this is
Wow.
Hold on to Philharmonic.
Okay.
Watch this.
Me being from Oakland, and then Oakland acquiring cousins. Damn, man, we got a lot in common, man. We like family now, brother. With the Warriors and everything's brought us together. Oh, yeah, you didn't see that part coming. All right, I slapped him in the face. You saw that? He frowned. What's this T-shirt represent? The Caucasians.
Well,
I want to wear that.
I watched Bomani Jones on ESPN explain it perfectly. Like, if you get offended by this and you don't get offended by the Indians, there's something wrong with you. You got to reevaluate your social conscious.
Okay.
And so I just think it's hilarious. I had one white dude come up to me at one of the shows, and he was like, "Yo, that's my favorite team," and I think he was serious. So that's the bad part about it. And so I was just stunned.
He got a T-shirt on that says Caucasians instead of the Indians, and with a blonde hair.
Peep the dollar sign though.
I didn't even see the dollar. Oh, the dollar sign instead of instead of the feather. Okay, I like that, man. All right. You got a project. The debut album is called the Philharmonic.
Yeah.
Right. And then people, what's your social media?
My social media is the Philharmonic. That's spelled ThePhilharmonik.
Okay, and off of that, we're gonna play. You got a song called "Let Freedom Ring."
Yeah.
And listen, it's such a powerful song. And when I think of it, I think of what happened with Stephon Clark in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Being shot and killed on his own property. How is the city doing since then? How are people recovering or reacting to that?
Well, there hasn't really been much progress. You got a lot of our politicians. They taking money from the DA, and the DA is she got reelected when she was very inactive in how the case was handled, and so there have been other things that have been going on racially, and even though you would think California is a progressive state, especially in Sacramento, our law enforcement and our politics have been contradictory to that, and so it's kind of been disappointing.
It's been disappointing. You touch on a lot on this project. You also got another song called Colors. What is that song about?
Colors is about learning about my own mortality. I think learning that, unconditional love doesn't really come from an outside source. It has to either come from God or come from within. And you have to work to become it. And it just talks about clashing with the ego and the spirit.
What's your ethnicity?
I'm Black, white, and Native American.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Super light skin. Yeah. Super light skin. Light skin, bro.
It's a lot of lights. It's a light skinned Cypher right now, man.
Right.
You know what tribe?
Musculero, Apache, and Blackfoot.
Oh.
Man, that's what's up, man. Okay, it's gonna be a powerful Cypher. Make sure you follow this dude. We're gonna go into the song. Let Freedom Ring. It's a powerful song. Listen to this guy, man. You played everything too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Clap that up right there.
Yeah.
Clap that up right there.
Yeah.
Very
The
nice.
Philharmonic. Woo!
Wow.
I got chills.
Very well produced. You could just hear everything, and I can hear you, working with Lecrae and BJ the Chicago Kid and Jesse Smollett. I mean, just it's such. This is common. I could just hear you with so many people doing this. Beautiful, both of you guys today. Just listening to you speak and hearing your story about your families and everything, and then to hear that reflected in your music. Very refreshing.
We got Rico on the line from Illinois. What up, Rico? Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, Rico.
What's up, Wade? Tracy G. Heather B. What's good?
What's good, family?
Yep.
Yo, that song was absolutely amazing. I have absolutely no idea who it is, but I got chills on both of my arms. It's completely different than anything on the radio.
Yep.
So let me know who this brother is, and I'm going to buy all of it.
Wow.
Tell him your name, man.
Hey, thank you, brother. I go by the Philharmonic with a K. If you want me to spell it out, it goes ThePhilharmonik.
Okay, go buy that,
You're
Rico.
absolutely amazing. That song is awesome.
Man, bless you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Hey, we gonna go to Ohio. We got Robert on the line from Ohio. What up, man?
Oh.
Yo, what's up, man? Yo, listen, man, that was probably the most refreshing thing I've heard in a very, very long time. And the fact that you actually did every piece of the song was even more refreshing. When y'all said I was going to have a Philharmonic on earlier, I was like, yo, that's dope because I love classical music. I was going to call in. But then when you had this dude on, let's take it to a whole nother level, man. That's so dope. Like, seriously, I'm in the early stages of putting together a project to talk about homeless people and how they got there. But I would love to use that song for the project, man, if that would be something you'd say I could do or use. But I'm in the early stages of writing, putting people together, different folks. We're going to go out to homeless communities. We're going to talk to them. We're also going to put together, care packages and connect people with homeless folks. But just kind of talking about that, man, listening to that and listening and having that project in my heart. Like, man, I'm getting emotional. It was so good, man.
Thank you, man. Bless you, bro.
Wow, man. Hey, follow him on social media too at
The Philharmonic. That's ThePhilharmonik.
That's what's up,
Oh.
man. All right, the
That was
Philharmonic. You next to rock, Nico.
Yes.
Drop a beat on him, man.
Let's go. My man Phil, we getting soulful.
All right. Beats by Nico Brim.
Woo, I like this beat. Woo.
Oh yeah.
Waiting for the beat come in.
Got 2 more bars.
Yo. Come out from the valley of the shadow of death. Take this in, I promise that you'll never run out of breath. Live your life, cause sometimes I know it's hard to respect. Cause when we hurt, that's the moment that we all wanna flex. I confess that as humans can be really complex. We flash our egos and we wanna call it art and intellect. We show emotion and we think they're gonna think of us less. But you blessed, you should never ever think that you less. Cause in the end, we always our biggest enemies. But it's always against each other that we compete. 9 times out of 10 is how it tends to be. Though this observation can be really hard to see. But if there's one thing that I hope you never fail to notice, is that our music's still beautiful though the record's broken. If all we want in life is unconditional love, then what we want is what we have to become. Yeah, if I could go back to the moments that I felt that nostalgia as a kid before the pains of life began to befall me, to the moments that I cherish in my heart that are guarded, to keep me on my path, even at points to the hardest. As time would pass, I grew older and loved ones would come and go. I relied on other people to fill the void in my soul, to be a high amongst my lows. That's when I lost my hope, cause at the point that they would leave, I ended up hurting more. Though at the time, my life really began to get messy, but that's the moment that I got to learn a valuable lesson. The worst thing that I'm feeling when I'm feeling most empty is that I cannot tell the difference between love and acceptance. That's the reason why the people get addicted to drugs, to escape the pain of life, so we live fast and die young, to avoid our problems we can never seem to run from. How can time heal any wounds if we can't get to confront? That's why in life, we gotta be our own leaders, cause we as hurting people always hurt other people. It's not because we evil or even because we mean to, it's cause we broken and you needing me just like I need you. So if there's one thing that I hope you never fail to notice, is that our music's still beautiful though the record's broken. If all we want in life is unconditional love, then what we want is what we have to become.
Oh my God. Wow.
We got a Cypher have a beat.
I love it.
Oh, yes. Without a single drug reference.
Without a single drug reference.
Man, hold up, man. Hold up, man.